Hey Laura, how you doing?
Hey, Colin. Can you just merge into this goddamn lane, dude? Jesus fucking Christ. People have no idea how to
I'm
drive.
trying, I'm trying,
Oy,
but
oy,
the
oy.
Lane and I were not destined to be together.
Clearly. Hey, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
So Charles is on call this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Which started 5 p.m. on Friday and goes until Tuesday morning.
Uh-huh.
And weekend calls and holiday calls tend to be really busy. And so we decided that I would just take Ellie to my parents' house because we've been meaning to go up there, and then one person or another is sick, and so we haven't seen them in a bit.
Uh-huh.
So I took Ellie myself, and she has not slept basically at all for 2 days now. And last
Really?
night she was awake from 11:45 to 2 o'clock, and I am exhausted. So I finally got I don't even know if she went to sleep. Like, I just put her
Uh-huh.
in a third room of the night and then said, like, I just need to go to sleep so that I can drive us home safely tomorrow. And then she woke up at 6:30 in the morning because this room that she wasn't afraid of doesn't have a curtain, and it's facing
Oh
east.
no.
So the sun
Yep.
rose directly into the room, and she also pooped. And so there was no
She
coming back from that. So
There's no coming back from poop.
no.
She and I have a similar problem though. The sun is wakes me up more than anything else.
Yeah.
She's just got to get into the habit like me. When she wakes up for a sec at like 5 in the morning, she's got to remember to put the shades down. She's just
Well,
got to
that's the
remember to do
problem.
that and go back to sleep. But
There
she's
were no
not
shades,
doing it.
Colin. There were no
The,
shades.
mm, I feel
I
like she's not really pulling her weight in solving this problem.
Yeah, to be fair, by the time I got her in that room, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I laid down and I was like, that room faces east, and she's going to be
Yep.
awake, and it's too late for me to go do anything about it. And
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't screaming, and so I was like, not going to change anything. And of
Have
course,
you
there were,
considered a tiny baby sleep mask?
that sounds really great. I wonder if Mad masks make a pediatric size.
Pediatric sleep masks. Um, getting it to stay on would be tough. You'd have to I don't
Yeah,
know if her hair is like Velcro compatible. Probably not.
no, it's quite fine. I don't think that would work, but I'll think of something.
that
Um,
sounds that sounds yeah. Exhausting is the only word I can think of. Yeah.
yeah, it's really exhausting. And I really love my parents, but it's also like a particular amount of mental energy to be at their house with a toddler.
Yep.
And the reason we were supposed to record on Friday at lunch, which was going to be perfect because I had a really light day of work on Friday, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
intentionally set myself up. And then on Thursday at 11:30 a.m., I found out that daycare was closed for the 4th of July. They just took an extra day. So I had to take Ellie to my parents' house on Friday, even though I was working. And then I had to take like a bunch of interviews and a meeting and like do a bunch of things. And like my parents were watching them. And
Yeah.
it was just
I
a lot.
I understand if a place has an emergency or a short notice thing, like, we didn't realize this was going to happen. We can't service you soon. Like, okay, yeah, sure, that happens. The 4th of July should not really catch anyone by surprise.
Well,
I
so
don't
here's the
think.
problem. I don't think it was a surprise
S-
to them. I think that they've been
That's what
planning
I'm
this
saying.
the whole time. But
So yeah, so the only excuse is they really failed to communicate and
yeah.
probably left a bunch of parents without childcare with less than a day's notice.
Well, what's wild to me that I'm like still struggling with, and at this point, I mean, I guess it's only been a couple months, but this woman runs this daycare like a school, like it's high school, and she's like,
Uh-huh.
well, this is blah blah blah, and like I guess some daycares are like that and some are not, so it's not like this is the only place that does this. But she's got
Mm-hmm.
a whole academic calendar, which is fine, but like I asked her a million times if I could get it, and I just never was able to follow up on it. Like
Yeah.
I don't have the mental energy to be like, I just really need the fucking calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kept on asking her in person, which is obviously not the right thing to do because she's extremely busy.
Mm-hmm.
But like she kept on saying things that made me feel like it was weird for me to be putting my daughter in daycare when we did. But like, I'm sorry. If I was putting a 3-month-old in daycare, I can't wait till the fucking school year starts. Like, you just put your
Yeah.
kid in daycare. That's like not a real
Yes.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so she kept on being like, oh, I don't like to get, bring kids in this late into the year because, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I just don't, this is the most bizarre experience of my whole life. So anyway, I finally got a printed copy because I sent her an email after getting the one that was like, just a reminder, we're closed on Friday and Monday. And I was like, wow, happy 4th of July. Could I please get an academic calendar?
Yeah. Christ alive. That is strange. I've never considered this stuff before, so pardon my ignorance once again. But like, I'm on your side because daycare and school are only the same in that your kid is under the purview of another person.
Yeah, that's how I
Right?
feel too. I mean, that's what I
That's the
thought.
only similarity. Daycare is not publicly funded. It is not on like a calendar set by state governments.
Yeah, she just
Daycare is a group of people that are offering to help watch your kid. And as a parent, the reason school is difficult in the summer is because there is nobody to watch your kid.
Yeah.
So you'd think that maybe daycare would be like, oh, damn, let's be daycare for all the times parents need kids, because parents don't get summer vacations unless they're teachers too. And even then, not always.
Right.
So I don't, on top of the failure to communicate this surprise holiday attack.
Well, and I found out also like a month ago, probably at this point, that they're closed for 2 weeks at the end of August into September because they need to like re-up all their certifications or whatever. And also like, you know, whatever, the teachers deserve a break, but like,
sure,
couldn't you rotate out your vacations and just have one teacher short for a month? Like that seems
which,
really
I mean,
reasonable
yes.
to me.
Which is also a reasonable approach to education that a lot of people want to take. But again, this is not an educational institution. So what is holding them to that schedule? That's what I don't know. There may be a reasonable answer. I'm not saying there can't be, but I don't know it.
I don't know it either. And like, so now I'm struggling because I have these 2 weeks in August and I have no one. And I reached out to like several different people and haven't heard anything back yet. And like, now I have to go.
Laura, wait.
Yes, I'm listening.
Hold on. Which week? End of August?
Yeah, it's like the 19th through September 3rd, so it's 2 full weeks.
Because
any amount of help would be helpful, though.
Not to segue into my stuff, but to maybe overlap our circles here in this Venn diagram. I'm struggling to find things to fill my calendar over the summer, and Rebecca always takes her family to Cape Cod at the end of August. And this year I was like, I should do something for that week instead of just loaf around.
Oh my God. Can you come help me watch my daughter and take her on many adventures and like go to the zoo and stuff? So great.
Let's continue to talk about this.
Okay.
We can both sit in front of calendars and figure some things out, and I can look at transportation options because I don't have a car. I'm wondering, and I'll have to ask Rebecca about this because she and her ex-husband, they have a car for transporting the adult around and then the van for transporting the little gremlins around.
Right.
And I'm wondering if I would have access to a car, that could smooth things out. Yeah. Interesting. I think instead of broaching this with her directly, because it would be awkward, I will just show her the edited podcast and let her submit her reply in writing.
That makes sense. Also, keep in mind, I work from home now. And so if you can get to me, you can use my car during the days.
Oh, also fair. Also fair. Yeah. And also less chance that I will be alone with the child in case of emergency, which I can certainly keep a person safe. But like, am I really the person you want in that crisis? I don't know. I pretty much want
anyone that can breathe right now. So
anyone that can breathe. Qualified. And contrary to visiting your parents, some people that are willing to step in and help instead of just watch you do the work and cheer you on.
Although they have been doing much better, and like, but it's hard for them, and like they can't do all day every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that I can imagine. But if it's gonna be like, hey, we're here for a day or two, I feel like that's kind of what you're signing up for. And at what point are we not having a good faith exchange if you're not going to tell me the limits of what you can do for my child? Because that's the reason for this.
Yeah.
And I feel like the last two sentences I just said can be given to your daycare provider and pretty much anyone in the future. Like, can you please in good faith tell me the limits to which you're willing to help me with my child? Because that's what I'm interested in right now.
Yeah. I really need to know that information. Also, I left my parents early today, or I tried to leave like before lunch or anything so that I could get her home so she could nap at home. Then of course, 3 minutes into the car ride, she's knocked out because she didn't sleep for 2 days. And so now we have a nap that started at 10:30 instead of 12:30.
Nice.
Which means that that's it. We're gonna, whenever she wakes up, which is probably gonna be as soon as I stop driving this vehicle, she's just gonna be up for the rest of the day. Which means that I don't get any time to break because I'm driving a vehicle right now, so I need to be alert and aware.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna have to just take care of her for the rest of the evening. I think I'm gonna put her to bed at like 6:30 tonight, and I just don't care.
Yeah, hope for the best. Shot in the dark, firing blind, yeet the baby. It's all good.
Anyway, this has been a lot about me. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. That is the point of this. I mean, it's an impossible conundrum that I feel like I would be horrible in the situation and be like, hey kid, it's not my fault you slept like shit. So hold up your end of the bargain. It is 7 p.m. Please stay in your bubble, which is of course not. I wouldn't call
7:15 is a pretty normal bedtime for us. So like 6:30 is not totally outside of the realm of possibility. We just need to make sure we're eating dinner in time.
Sure. I mean, good luck. My biggest fear for you is that you're gonna put her down at 6:30 and she's either gonna be up till midnight or she's gonna wake up at midnight, and I don't know which.
Well, that's okay. Apparently, I have practice with that now, so no big deal.
Fair enough. Yesterday I went to a 4th of July party.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, well, I helped my friend prepare for it and stuff like that. Just because it was like, get out of the house, see a friend I haven't seen in a while, do some food stuff. It was fun. I got to operate the grill, and none of my grill happy friends were there to tell me that I did everything wrong, and I'm sure that I did. But like, it was a party, and I don't drink or smoke or anything. But the MO of the party was very much come here, get me drunk and high and fed. That was the plan for most of the attendees.
Right.
And someone did bring their 2.5-year-old to that. Which was...
That sounds interesting.
None of us really knew how to handle it. I mean, listen, Laura, I know that you know how to have a good time, but if you knew that there was going to be, weed and cigars being passed around, would you bring Ellie to that?
I would not. I would not do that.
Okay. Cool. Glad that we're on the same page there. I had a nice time, but I was very much like, I walked outside to like an open diaper in front of me, and I'm just like, this is not really what I like. I prepared myself to like say no to drugs because I'm so fucking cool, but instead I'm dodging dookie left and right. No, the kid was lovely, but I mean, it was just like, it was very strange.
Yeah, I mean, some parents want to just like have their kid in their lives with no adjustment, right? And like, it is what it is. It's not how I think choose.
It was exactly. However, I was given an impression that this was a childcare fell through sort of situation.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Where like person wanted to go to drinking smoking party, could not get childcare, said, the kid can come. And I'm like, okay, congratulations. Have a lovely Friday, Saturday. Yeah. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Saturday. My goodness gracious. Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, hard to remember though.
I am, however, stuck in the house today because I think I need to edit 4 podcasts today.
Geez. That's a lot.
2 of which I get paid for. Hooray. But, It's just it's a lot of that, and sitting in my room, you crank the AC, that'd be nice. But hey, guess what? Our central air unit went down on Thursday.
It's still out.
It's still out because it's the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
The hottest summer weekend typically, and then nobody's fucking around to fix it.
That sucks.
So we have a regular ass AC unit that we've been like moving from room to room as needed.
Yeah. It
luckily hasn't been too bad. I think the day on Friday it was in the 90s, which was a little rugged.
Yeah.
But it's what a time for that to go out. And so today I'm just going to Rebecca, I think, has plans to like go out and do stuff on the water, so she'll be fine.
Yeah.
But our area has a pool, so I might actually fucking go check that out, depending on how things shake out for me.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
We'll see.
Yesterday it was like in the mid 90s and very, very hot and humid.
Yeah.
And so we took Ellie down at like 5 p.m., which is usually when we're like getting ready for dinner, but it was like so hot. We took her to a park that just renovated in my parents' town and added like a little splash pad play area where like fountains go off at random intervals and like all sorts of different water features. And
nice.
She was like really 50-50 on it. Made her really nervous, but it did cool everyone off. So nice.
I mean, I kind of get that. I would prefer if they didn't go off at random intervals. I don't like walking around like, am I about to get fucking splorched in the gooch? Like, what's happening?
Exactly. And like, I I'm sure that there is a pattern, but I wasn't there like long enough to determine what that pattern was.
Yeah.
And like, it's most of them, like half of the water features are just holes in the ground that suddenly spout out a
Yep.
10-foot thing of water.
All right, Ellie. Today we're gonna learn pattern recognition and self-defense.
I think only one time she got really upset where she was standing and like it was probably about her height, so like 2 something feet.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a rounded metal spout that kind of just like went on a curve a little bit, and then when the water came out of it made it look like a mushroom cap, so like the water like went around in a circle, which is lovely, and like luckily it wasn't too forceful or anything, but she was standing right there and it just kind of like splorched her into something she already has an issue with. She's like very particular about water on her head. So she just and then we left.
That would be enough for me. I had that kind of energy as a kid. Walking into a thing, nervous about what would happen. And if within the first couple minutes something bad happened, I'm like, all right, no, this is over. We're done. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I think I was 4 and my mom was like, I'm going to have you play soccer. I stepped on the field, immediately got hit in the face with a ball and ran off the field crying and said, nope, not doing it. Absolutely not.
That's fair. A soccer ball in the face, not pleasant.
Certainly not. Especially when that soccer ball was much larger than my head at the time. I didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
What else? Otherwise, so another thing I kind of want to do this summer, and I know this is not a big thing, but like I want to get my ass to like a theme park or something. I just want to go out and have a day like that. I just want to like populate it with like little things where I go out and do things, whether they're big or small. I want to get some big things on the menu, but that's one of the small things I'd like to do. And I'm just having a dickens of a time.
So I don't know how far away you are from the Poconos, but Kalahari Resort and Water Park, surprisingly fun.
Okay.
If you go during the weekday, if it wasn't too busy. We were there a couple weeks ago because we were staying at an Airbnb in the Poconos, and it turns out that it was only like 10 minutes away.
That's cool.
And it was super fun. Unexpectedly, a really great time. And Ellie enjoyed it. There's a lot of like little areas for small kids, and then there's like some really like intense adult rides, and I know this doesn't appeal to you at all, but there's also like a swim up bar that I like. We took the kids there because we went with Charles' family, and so it's his sister and our nephew and Charles' dad.
I do want to experience a swim up bar because I love the idea of just swimming to a place and then swimming away from it. If they have like Capri Suns and I can like really infantilize myself, I might be down with that.
I don't know if they're Capri Suns, but I'm sure that they have soda that you can get. Oh, you don't really
I'd fuck with
either.
that. Though I do drink soda. I've been drinking soda for a year now. I'm 1 year off the wagon.
Wow, how's that going?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't drink it that often. So,
good. Yeah.
I yesterday I crushed a couple of root beers. Not afraid to say it. Fucking party hard over here.
That's wild of you.
Yeah. The one big thing I did do this past month though was I did go down to New York City for the weekend to watch the premiere of the TV show I worked on at Tribeca Film Festival.
Happy that you did that.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I sorted out the plans and got it working. It is very cool. I got to see my name on a movie theater screen in New York City, which was crazy. Did not think that was going to happen. I'm very scared it will never happen again. I'm trying very hard to make sure it does, but we'll see. But I also got to see my old friend Jocelyn, who like basically got me the gig on that show and is the lead editor on it. Like, and her name is like in the intro credits.
That's so
like,
cool.
Like when the show is starting. It is an anime based show, so there are like some stylings in it that I'm like not a big fan of. It also, I can't really say any details, but I tend to prefer the show as it gets weirder, and it doesn't start very weird. It gets very weird.
Okay.
So I'm like, I only got to see the first episode, so that'll be out in September.
Nice.
But I will, I'm going to see if it's a show that I would actually watch. I loved working on it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet if I'll like being a viewer, but it was just really nice. And then we all went like just wandering around Queens, and we got a bunch of fucking street food from this festival, for, like weekly fair thing. And I got food truck tacos, which are the best tacos.
Yeah.
Got to see, and then the friend I was crashing with, I got to go to the Brooklyn Museum, right next to where you and I went to the zoo, and watch an artist's exhibit that she actually helped produce some video stuff for. Nice. So I got to see her stuff in a public forum as well. It was really lovely and really nice. I wish I was able to make more time out of it, and I also wish the Paramount Plus app didn't suck shit.
Oh yeah.
I downloaded a bunch of shit to watch, and none of it worked on the train. So I was trying to play games on my Steam Deck, but I got nauseous because I wasn't looking up as the train was moving quickly.
Yeah.
So There's about 6 hours of very shitty transit, but I did get to use Apple Pay on the fucking subway.
Ooh, that's
And
exciting.
it is the easiest thing. I thought you had to like sign up for and download a Metro card onto the thing. You literally just tap a button on your preferred credit card on your phone and say, "This is my Express card," and literally you just wave it. You don't do anything. You just wave it by the turnstile, and it boop.
Wow.
That's it. It's so
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
I did it on my watch. The future is now, Laura, and I'm part of it.
That's amazing. I'm so proud.
But yeah, I don't know. A lot of time on the subway, a lot of time on the train, but it was very, very, very cool to go and do that.
Nice.
Very much hope I get the chance to do it again.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm sure you will.
that's the biggest thing I've got on the calendar, barring potential Laura adventures at the end of August. But like,
well, listen, I'm not necessarily saying you have to come stay at my house for like an entire week, but if you did come to my place and there was a day that I wasn't working, we are 30 minutes away from the Jersey Shore, and like not the Jersey Shore boardwalk, you know, pumping laundry or whatever the fuck it is. I know that's not what it is.
Sure.
We're like 30 minutes away from like really nice beaches. So I don't know if that's something you're interested in. We could take a little beach adventure. We're about 35 minutes away from a really cool zoo.
I think you and I both know that I'll fuck with a zoo.
The zoo is great. Also, we went to the zoo, gosh, it was before we had Ellie. So it was just me and Charles, and we like went a public time. And I got this amazing sloth mug there that is like the picture is starting to kind of fade off a little bit. And so I think it's time to re-up and get a new Turtleback Zoo piece of merch.
Your sloth has deteriorated to unacceptable levels and must be replenished.
Exactly. Yes.
That could be fun. Yeah. I mean, I've been to your place, but I didn't like go anywhere when I was there. I was just kind of there. So it'd be cool to make a thing out of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff around my house. It's actually really cool. I was talking to my mom about this. We're like right in the middle of a ton of really amazing like parks that we've only been to a couple of, but like there's some really cool things that are nearby my house.
Yeah, this is enticing. I would like to make this plan happen. I'll have to figure out all the details on it, but
when I'm home, I'll take a look at that academic calendar and send you a picture.
And every time if you could actually, you know, send that to me and then I can print it out just so that, you know, I don't get the rug pulled out from under me last minute. I'd really appreciate getting your calendar.
Yeah. No worries. I can do that.
But every time I'm like,
when I do our podcast, people are like, well, no daycare that week.
Yeah. I mean, there was a bit of that at the top of this call because FaceTime recently changed some shit on the computer that makes it so I cannot record each of us discreetly on the same machine.
Right.
So basically, you called me as I was doing a few other things, and then I had to spend 5 minutes. I have such a mess of wires that are like crisscross between my Mac and my iPad and my audio interface, and it's I'm gonna have a hell of a time undoing it. But
listen, the thing is that I want to really just push your creativity and your dealing with ambiguity skills. I think it's super important, and now you can just use this in your life.
You've been taking too many interview calls, Laura. I'm not. You need to snap out of it.
I good chance.
I am trying deliberately, staring down the face of maybe never making another TV show again. I'm like, well, I better just push myself. So I am trying to actively build out new technical systems, pipelines, and workflows so I can crank out different things more quickly and like produce things without being like, I don't know if I can do that. I want to figure out like, hey, what can I reasonably do? Right. So I guess thank you, but also this is a lot of cables in front of me right now. Whenever I talk to Rebecca about like my dearth of plans for the summer, because it was one of those things where going into the summer, I'd like, I should have a hot girl summer. I should do way more stuff. And now it's summer and I didn't actually nail that down. And I'm like, oh, I guess you actually have to make plans. And I didn't.
Yeah.
But now every time that I say this to her, her answer is not, you know, drive an hour and a half to hang out with Laura for a few days. Her answer is like, go see your friends in Los Angeles and Texas. And I'm just like,
yeah, I mean,
that's
good advice.
Those are not bad ideas, but she's saying like, oh, just like, not like make plans and in a couple months go down to Texas. Like the attitude was very much like, just fly to Texas next week. And I'm like,
people do that. That's like a thing.
People do that. It is a thing people do. It is
not a thing I do.
It's not a thing I do. And I think the main reason is money. If I could like, especially with in this economy with if I could just like drop money on round trip airplane tickets across the country and hotels, I think I would do that.
Right.
But I can't really do that. Like I have the money, but you know, it's savings and stocks, and I'm trying to not do that.
Right. That makes
with
sense.
savings and stocks. You know, just on a whim trips.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm having a bit of a lack of direction there, and I also just like, I don't know if you know this, Texas doesn't seem like a great place to be right now. Not super into that. Not feeling like a gun-toting patriot lately. I am, in fact, I need to hit CVS sometime this week to get photos so I can ask Canada to remember that I'm a citizen and also get a passport so that I can go to Canada before. Apparently, it could take over a year for them to like give me proof of citizenship. So I should have started this a while ago, but according to Canada's website, I should be a citizen. Like they basically said, you're probably a citizen. We just don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So I just need to submit some stuff to them, and I'm gonna get a passport because this feels like a good time to have my options open.
I don't have a lot of options, and it is causing me a bunch of anxiety.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a big part of why I'd like to do it, because obviously with, you know, our increasingly quick slide into theocratic fascist rule in the United States, if I can get into Canada, I'm a straight cis white dude and would probably not be directly affected by horrible things coming to pass, at least not immediately. But getting myself to Canada would also mean I can then potentially sponsor other people getting to Canada.
Hey, that'd be nice. Maybe I'll just divorce Charles and then see what you're up to.
I'm gonna be just fucking like churning through green cards once I'm up there.
They're gonna ask like, oh well, you know, how long have you known each other? Well, went back to 2012. It's been 10 years.
We have enough stories that we could probably convince just about anyone that the marriage is legitimate. But I think once I get to ex-wife number 9 and ex-husband number 12, they're going to have some questions. There's going to be some questions.
Probably, yeah.
But that is a legitimate thing that I want to make sure that I'm in a position to do. And sort of help people with, but also it's not like I have dual citizenship. Moving to Canada would not strip me of American citizenship, so I mean residency would be a problem, but like I could still then potentially return to the United States as needed. I can cross the, again, barring any significant changes, cross the border without much resistance and like participate in things in the United States. Like it's I don't know. I've joked my whole life that like I can move to Canada if things get bad, but things look bad.
Pretty bad.
So it's less of a joke now.
Yeah.
So if I need to, hey, Laura, I'll do a lot of things for our friendship. And if I need to marry you and then divorce you and then marry Charles and then adopt Ellie and then divorce Charles and let you readopt Ellie, I'll do that.
Well, I appreciate that. That's a good friend right there. That's a good friend.
I will marry your husband so hard.
I would love that conversation. Well, I knew he existed from 2012.
I knew we sort of bounced off each other socially.
Play a lot of video games. That's really what our bond is about.
Yeah,
Not the
exactly.
Same ones, but you know.
I love Charles with an entire wall in between us over an online chat headset. And that's how I like it.
Yeah.
Send my green card in the mail. I don't even know. I know so little. As someone who touts his Canadian citizenship and is making sure he has the ability to go to Canada, I know so little about how shit works up there. It's so similar to America in a lot of ways, so you can like sort of skate by on your understanding. It's kind of like if you speak Spanish, you can probably get by in Italy not great, but okay, and converse in Italian. And like culturally, America and Canada are like extremely close, but I just don't know how legal stuff works. So like,
Right.
is it called a green card up there? Is there an equivalent to that? I don't know.
Well, I
Can
think
I just be
the
like,
beginning
yeah,
research,
Laura's cool?
yeah, the beginning research you clearly need to do is whatever that show is called 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, because that is all about people outside of the United States sponsoring people inside the United States. And maybe there's a Canadian person on there. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I'll see if there's a Canadian
It,
version of the
it's
show.
a good place to start, I think.
I'm going to walk into a Canadian lawyer's office and say, I've watched a lot of
Yeah.
reality TV. I'm ready for this. I have so many friends that I don't want to marry, but I'm ready. Uh,
Yeah.
big plans, but no, they say it'll take over a year, so I should be able to like get a passport and
Yeah.
then be able to go up if I need to. I don't fucking know. I don't even know if I have any family up there that I actually know in person anymore. So I would basically just be moving. It would just be moving to another country.
Yeah.
If I did it.
Well,
But I know that
my
there's a lot of TV stuff in Toronto and Vancouver,
yeah,
so
that's actually
places
true.
to go.
You can work on Discovery. My
Hmm.
mom's cousin lives in Ontario.
Okay,
So
Ontario is pretty big.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean,
big
it's
chunk of
just
Canada.
it's just somewhere in there. But hey,
Yeah.
that's one person one person
Yeah,
I
no,
know.
that's fair. And then yeah, I'll just say like, hey, your cousin? Oh yeah, she's my wife, and also her husband is my husband.
Yeah.
It's weird. You guys are more progressive up here, so I don't feel like I have to explain it. Thank you. Let me crash on your couch.
Yes.
That's well, hey, now you and I get to plan an August vacation and
Yeah.
an immigration trip
Yeah.
and
Just-
defrauding the Canadian government.
That sounds great. Perfect.
Fantastic. Yeah. Other than that, it is I actually am gonna have a more open July than normal for Dice Populi. We got really ahead of stuff so that
Nice.
other people can do their summer stuff. So now I'm left with a lot less work this month
Nice.
than normal.
That is very
Uh-oh, do I hear her coughing? Do
Yeah,
I hear
you do.
the little one waking up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
She heard us talking and is trying to say, I don't want to go to Canada.
Yeah. I really think that I can't, she seems a little still sleepy a little bit. I think I just need to feed her lunch and see if she'll go down for another nap.
Yeah, story of my life.
God, if she naps twice today, I'll be really happy. It
mean-
has not happened since she dropped her second nap, but
Wouldn't
hope.
that, do you think that that'll get her back on schedule to sleep tonight, or do you think it would like ripple through to tonight's sleep schedule?
Everything is effed. So who knows? It doesn't even matter. I don't know, man.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I wish you luck, but it's just, I know it's just, you're at the mercy of the child at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's so cute.
I feel like that's the only reason we deal with chaotic small creatures.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's evolution. Like
As I was-
we evolved to like cute things, and they evolved to be cute.
Yeah.
But it does feel like a cheap shot, like
Yeah.
only the easy. If this was really Darwinism, only the easiest babies should make it through. But
That's true. Imagine if we could get to the evolutionary state where human babies were just easy. Sounds great.
I mean, yeah, you see it happen with a lot of other mammals where they just like, I'm just gonna
suction cup onto for a year, and then that's it. Take care of myself.
if you fucking watch a giraffe, they fall out of baby giraffes fall out of standing giraffes onto their feet.
Yeah.
And start walking.
That's wild.
And there are legitimate theories that the reason human development is so long is because we have
Your brain
more
don't fit in
sophisticated
there.
we have very sophisticated personalities, and developing
Right.
that kind of understanding, a sense of context, and a sense of self. The development of self is something that we believe to be more evolved in humans than other animals. Because when fucking Greg the giraffe falls out of the mama onto its feet running, it's not worrying about like, oh God, did I look awkward falling out like that? This is really gonna affect my reputation in this herd of giraffes.
Yeah.
But
Gotta
for
watch
some
that
reason,
rep.
humans need to take 10 to 20 years, the life of a lot of these other creatures, 10 to 20 years to develop anxiety. And that's what evolution decided was going to be the winner.
Great. That's
Yeah,
so wonderful.
so-
Thanks,
Yes.
evolution.
Thanks.
Thanks for giving us
Chuck.
anxiety.
Thanks, Charles Darwin.
Thanks, God. Jeez.
Yeah, you really nailed this one. Hey, let's give them feelings for compassion. Yeah, we're going in the other direction because People are so uncompassionate. All I can worry about is what they think of me.
Mm.
I'm going to crawl back into the giraffe now.
Yep.
It's I mean, it's an interesting theory, and I wish I knew more about it. But it doesn't explain why babies can't walk. Is it just because the head is so big?
The head is so big,
that
dude. Yeah.
The head is so big
Can't
that like
balance.
the body physically can't support it.
Yeah, you can't even sit up for a long time.
Yeah.
Babies don't sit up until they're like, what? God, I don't even remember what the timing is on that anymore. 4 months? That
Yeah.
sounds right.
Yeah, I imagine the last 2 years, those milestones definitely stand out to you with incredible detail.
Oh, definitely, 100%. With all that good quality sleep that I got, and
yeah,
life and
now
stuff.
I don't want to be the one to say maybe the Borg are onto something, but if you look at the quasi-fascistic alien race, the Borg in Star Trek, the way that they do babies is they're like, all right, the baby is born from this species. Let's put a couple computers in it, and we're just going to put it in this tube until it's not a baby anymore.
Yeah, but you miss so much of the cuteness, though. That's the real problem.
But the thing is, we evolved to respond to cuteness because it convinces us to keep the baby safe so that we can propagate
But if we
as
know
a
that they're
species.
safe, we wouldn't need the cuteness. But
we wouldn't need the cuteness, and also ever since that trait evolved into us, we have developed an internet that lets us look at animals all the time.
That's true.
So I mean, I might be describing a horrible dystopia here, but like, put baby in the tube, look at pictures of cats, and then wait 10 years, bing bang boom, you got a person. It's not quite giraffe levels of efficiency, but it's easier.
Yeah,
it is easier.
Maybe
The government is not the biggest threat to America right now, and I should stop talking.
Maybe it's you and the Borg.
Maybe that's this is the slippery slope to Borg radicalization.
Always. All right. I just pulled into my house, and I must.
All right.
Go.
Sounds good. I am going to try to stay on the ball of all these crazy edits, and there's a good chance I'm going to nap more than Ellie will today, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, just send over some of the nap energy, please. That'd be so great.
I will send nap energy. Can't wait to talk to you about calendar stuff and see what we can figure out. I hope the rest of your day goes well and that you get sleep. I would love for you to sleep.
Yeah, I would love for me to sleep too. We'll see how that goes.
All right, fingers crossed. Bye, Laura. Talk to you
Colin.
soon.
Thank you.
How You Doing is a Common Geeking Program production starring Laura Becker and Colin Ketchen, with editing and original music by Colin. You can learn all about the show at the website podfriend.pizza. It has everything you need to listen and to learn about the Podfriends themselves, and it's an easy place for new listeners to jump on board. If you enjoy the podcast, reviews and ratings are the best way to show it. Tell a friend, share your favorite episodes, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. We'll talk to you again the first Monday of every month, so be sure to stay in touch. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.
Common